2025 was a crazy year for me. At the beginning of the year, I wrote down 10 goals. Let's see if I hit them. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Kuda. I'm a full-time software engineer trying to build my brand and launch my own SaaS company outside my 9-to-5. In this video, we'll be recapping my 2025. What were the 10 goals I set at the beginning of the year, and did I hit them? What applications did I ship and code this year? What were my fitness achievements this year, and what were my stats on my health? How did I grow my brand, and how much content did I put online? What were the habits and systems that stuck with me or fell apart to allow me to hit my goals? What were the 5 major lessons I took away from this year, and what are my goals for 2026? This is gonna be a banger. Let's hop in. All right, I'm making this video as a way for you guys to learn about my story, where I'm taking this channel and my SaaS applications, and just as a journal for my future self to look back on and reflect. So what were my goals for 2025? I think I wrote these down at a coffee shop one of the last days of 2024. It was to launch the MVP for FlowThread, an AI project I was working on at the end of last year, make some money through freelance coding, build my personal brand, get shredded for the summer, do a HYROX race, do a lot of yoga, do weekly reflection and journaling, do deep work every day, take a lot of steps every day, and work on my investment portfolio. So let's start with the tech and the products I shipped this year. The first one was, the first goal I did hit was I shipped FlowThread. This was an application to use AI to analyze your emails and Slack threads, everything workspace communication, and give you actionable insights on what steps to take next. I didn't expect this product to take off. My main goals were to just get an AI product working end to end. I built it with Next.js and used OpenAI for the AI components. This is a screenshot from a demo I made this year on my YouTube. It's a quick one. Though I'm happy with this project as I always struggle with finishing products. So even though there were some imperfections with the app, I was glad I got it through, set up the Stripe subscription models, as that set me up to scale higher revenue apps in the future. And I feel much more confident now. Next up was freelance coding. I didn't hit my goal of 10K, but I made about 4K in revenue from it. Pretty happy with this, considering it was 0 revenue all time before this. I had 2 clients I worked with, one of which the project is still going on. And I think both projects were very successful. I learned to communicate with the client I'm working for, ship on a deadline, scope out requirements before actually developing. All those soft skills that will prepare me to be a successful business owner in the future. I don't have real goals for freelancing in the new year. I'll, of course, still work on my current projects, but I have other goals in shipping my own apps versus doing freelance. Which brings me to Evex, the app I am trying to ship, your AI fitness companion. I've made a lot of videos on this on my channel. We're making more in the future. It is a Swift UI application where you can track your workouts, get AI insights, and make real progress. I'll pull it up right here. It is completely feature complete. I'm just working on getting the paywall up and running and in the App Store, so it'll be live in a week or 2. You can expect a lot of coding vlogs of me building this out. This is kind of my passion project right now. Excited to get it in your hands in the new year for free. You can join the waitlist at evexapp.com to be notified when it's live, or subscribe to this channel. Be making a ton of content on it. On the topic of fitness, let's talk about my fitness achievements for the year. One of my goals was reaching 10% body fat this summer. I achieved that, was very happy with it. Though honestly, more of my goals were more like race and performance related. You can see my weight here. I purposely did a little micro bulk in the winter and cut down. And I'm doing the same thing right now. I'm at about 225 right now. So for 6'6", still pretty lean, but allows me to build muscle in the winter. And on the topic of races, I did 2 HYROX races this year. One was in the men's open division in Houston in March. That was great. And then I did the pro division, so heavier weights, in Boston this September. Both of these races were a blast. I love functional fitness and running, which is what HYROX races excel at. Not sure if I'll do another race in the new year. I have more goals in running, which brings me to the marathon I did this year, which I didn't even plan on doing. This was the main marathon in October, only a week after this Hyrox, so I was still kind of sore from that. Though I PR'd by 19 minutes from my previous marathon to get a time of 3:15:47. And my goal for the new year is do another marathon and run it in sub 3 hours. I think I'm capable of that. It'll require a lot of speed work, a lot of consistency. I'm not ready to start training right now, though I think come springtime, early summer, I'll be ready to get on a 4-month training block and go for sub 3. Tons of content on that coming on this channel. Another goal of mine was 100 hours of yoga. That was honestly an ambitious goal. I knew when I was setting it. I hit 84 hours, which I'm very happy with. That's still over 2 classes a week. Something I'll continue to do in the new year. My VO2 max improved this year. I peaked at 58 during my marathon training. This is a great metric for your overall health and indicator of longevity. It did dip a little since the marathon training, though I expect as I do more sprint workouts and HIIT training that I'll climb back up. I ran a total of 1,025 miles this year, a lot during the marathon block here. Hit my 10K step goal, getting 14.9K daily, which is crazy. Of course, running helps with that, though I am happy with the progress I've made of making that a solid habit to walk after every meal, get some morning sunlight. We'll look to improve this number in the new year. Sleep was pretty good, average 7 hours, 39 minutes. On average, woke up a little after 6 and went to bed a little after 10. On a perfect day, I wake up at 5 and I'm totally lights out at 9 p.m. So look to improve these numbers in the new year, though getting 7 hours, 40 minutes every night, pretty solid. We'll look to maintain that, maybe bump up a little bit in the new year. Now let's talk about content. This really was the year of YouTube for me. I only had 13 subscribers beginning of the year. Now we're at 356. My goal was to just make 12 long form videos. We ended up making 34, not counting this one. So this was really the medium I felt comfortable with communicating my AI workflows, talking about my Evex app I'm building, and just doing lifestyle vlogs. You can see our daily view chart here. My goal was to make 100 shorts, made 82. Honestly, I'll take that. With the increase in long form video, just coming up 18 reels short is totally fine at 100. And I was pretty optimistic on Twitter for 2025. I want to tweet every day, but really I basically tweeted only every other day. Here's a graph on it. I still do love Twitter for learning about what's going on in tech and AI and talking with my connections, though I feel more comfortable building my brand with video on YouTube versus primarily being Twitter as my main social media, but we'll still continue to post on there. And here's my GitHub contribution graph. Pretty solid over half the days I was pushing code. Summer wasn't very consistent. This was also marathon training. Keep that in mind. Though we do have good momentum going in the new year. Next, talking about the habits and systems I developed this year. For deep work, I did want to get 2 hours every day. Honestly, was hot and cold with this. I would have weeks where I'd wake up before my day job, do 2 hours of content or personal coding, and would have like a 30-day streak. Other times, I wouldn't wake up at 5 a.m. for weeks at a time. So my goal for the new year is get a lot of hours in on this, reclaim my mornings. I find when I'm productive in the mornings, the rest of the day figures itself out. Journaling, something I really struggled with. It's a very important exercise, something I value, though there are honestly multiple weeks at a time where I wouldn't journal. Granted, I find when I journal in the morning, it does delay me from getting to deep work, my previous habit, though I will look to reclaim daily journaling, even if it's just half a page in the morning, just to kind of reset, step out of my thoughts and set an intention for the day. And finally, the investment portfolio habit I did solidify pretty early in the year, like January. This isn't financial advice, but I had all my money in my savings, didn't use a Fidelity account to manage it, but now I have it all automated. It's made me a fair bit of money, and I'm glad I have that system fully running on its own. Now let's talk about the 5 major lessons I learned this year. Lesson number 1, progress over perfection. This is something I always write down in my daily journaling, have thought about it a lot, but through just shipping content and apps quickly, this has really solidified this habit for me. So no matter what it's building, whether it's applications, music, a business, learn to just get it done, accept that nothing will ever be perfect, get it over the finish line, and you'll learn much more that way. And lesson 2 is to follow your own signal. Through all this tech and kind of vlogs into my life I'm giving. It feels very natural, and I've always liked making small videos like this, though in prior years, I would be hesitant to share this out of fear of judgment or self-doubt that I would never take off. Though I've realized through really listening to what your internal calling is, pursuing your passions, regardless of what others will think or regardless of the success percentage of the outcome, still go for it, as that's what's truly aligned. If you do anything other than that, it'll just feel fake. That also ties into my third lesson of embrace silence and set aside time to destimulate throughout the day. I'm a big proponent of working out with no music. Most of my runs do no AirPods, even workouts in the gym, no music. I just find in today's society, there's so much stimulation going on that's normalized that if you don't actually take time to just step back, listen to your thoughts, go on a walk just for the sake of going on a walk, you won't learn your true passions. That's at least what it was for me. I find when I set aside more time to just chill, have my phone off, not be playing music, not be gaming, your internal compass will tell you where to go next. Speaking of growth, that brings me to my fourth lesson of goal setting. I find I'm a way better process goal over an outcome goal guy. By process goal, I mean the stuff you can control and the effort you put in versus the outcome of the goal. So for instance, on YouTube, my goal isn't necessarily reach 1,000 subscribers. I would love that one day, but I can't control that number. All I can control is the daily consistency in videos I put out, which is why for the new year, I have goals in video output versus actual audience size. So I have way more control and way more motivation through process goals. And lesson 5, kind of different from all the others, but in-person events really do matter. I'm a part of a developer group down here in Austin, Texas, and it has been the #1 motivator for me to keep building. I've met so many smart people that are, 10 steps ahead of me, that are willing to share their process, and just awesome, nice people can show me what they're working on in person to get inspired. Everyone there is very collaborative, fosters way better connections than if you're just messaging someone on Twitter. And I do want to do more fitness-oriented goals in the new year, such as run clubs or group workouts. I feel most of my in-person events have been tech-related, though because a lot of my interests are in fitness, and that's EVEX I'm building is in fitness, doing more social workouts is for sure a goal. And talking about my 2026 goals, these are the 10 for the new year. We'll be making another video in a year recapping these. Goal 1, launch EVEX, my AI app, get that to 250 users, hit the sub 3-hour marathon in the fall. I want to make 50 YouTube coding videos, averages out to about 1 a week. I do want to get a 3.5 plate beltless squat. I did hurt my disc 4 years ago, though it's been fully healed recently. I feel good doing a lot of squatting, so I'll get that strength back up. I want to average 2 hours of deep work a day outside my 9 to 5, totals to about 700. I do want to get a month of international solo travel. I have a month off from work in July. So the plan right now is to go to Bali and maybe Hawaii on the way back. Looking forward to that. A lot of content from that coming soon. I do want to start a developer podcast with the people I'm meeting from all these in-person events. Lucky to call them my friends. They have awesome stories. They're great teachers, can give a lot of value to you guys, the audience. I think this would be a good regular occurring thing for this channel. Help me reach the other 52 video goal. I want to push code every day, keep that GitHub graph full, no days off, whether it's 1 minute or 5 hours, work on something each day. I want to launch 2 additional SaaS products, not just EVEX. I'm always looking to pivot. I always want to see what's next on the bleeding edge of tech, as I feel iteration is way more important than perfection on one thing. So do want to keep my eyes out for more SaaS products to build. And my last goal, because you're 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down, I want to keep writing down my 3 daily goals in my journal every day. Very important to do. Sets the intention early. You're less likely to skip them, I find. Great small habit for just the 10 seconds it takes. So that is the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching my 2025 year in review. Really looking forward to 2026 and the apps I'm shipping, the content I'm making, and my story I'll be documenting. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. See you guys in the next one. Thanks.